One of the most mysterious shoes from Nike's archive is the Nike Airship, which was actually the first shoes that Michael Jordan ever wore professionally in the NBA, even before the Air Jordan 1. And since he wore those shoes back in 1984, the sneaker has only resurfaced a couple of times. And I got the latest colorway right here. My name is Josh, and I will be reviewing the Nike Airship in the Team Orange colorway. So what is good to all of my long-term viewers? Shout out to all of you guys. And if you are new here, my name is Josh. I'm doing sneaker reviews and all kinds of other sneaker content, at least 3 videos a week. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. And the links to all of my social media, as well as the best sneaker podcast out there, the Kickback Pod, all of those can be found in the description. Check that out as well. So the Nike Airship. Now, weirdly, this shoe only released at a couple of retailers here in Europe, Bottega Backdoor out of Italy and Opium Paris. And it seems like we don't really have any official information for when these will be releasing or where they will be worldwide. Trophy Room in the United States said that they currently do have some pairs in store. I don't know exactly where else it's going to be releasing, but it does seem like these are quite limited. They did retail for a price of 150 euros, $150 in the US, making these actually significantly cheaper than your Air Jordan 1s, which currently retail for 180. Quick history lesson on the Nike Airship. Now, a lot of you might be familiar with this TV commercial.
On September 15th, Nike created a revolutionary new basketball shoe. On October 18th, the NBA threw them out of the game. Fortunately, the NBA can't stop you from wearing them.
Nike put out that commercial to promote their new model, the Air Jordan 1. And it's true that the NBA did ban Michael Jordan and Nike from wearing these particular red and black shoes. But what most people don't know is that they were not referring to a pair of Air Jordan 1s. Instead, they were actually referring to a pair of Nike Airships. So these were the shoes that were actually banned by the NBA. But Nike, because of the way they promoted the Air Jordans, they kind of created a Mandela effect where everyone seems to think that the Jordan 1s actually got banned, but in fact, it was the Airship. They were the first shoe that Michael Jordan wore professionally, and that's because when he got into the NBA, at the time, the Jordan 1 wasn't quite ready yet. And recently, a game-worn pair of Nike Airships sold on Sotheby's auction for $1.4 million. And since all the way back in 1984, we've only seen the Airship release a handful of times. Back in 2020, we saw the New Beginnings pack. That's when they released it in that classic white and red colorway. We then saw it released in the band colorway, and most recently we saw A Ma Maniére get a collab on this purple and white colorway, and now we finally got what seems to be perhaps the most widely available pair yet, this Team Orange colorway. Call it a Syracuse colorway, if you will. Of course, these aren't really an OG colorway, but they're actually the closest thing to the OGs, which is that white and red pair, which currently resales for absurd amounts. So if you don't want to pay that, this is about as close as you can get for a lot cheaper. But let us get into the shoes. Let's start off with the box. So you get this, what looks like a Air Jordan 1 style of box. It's done mainly in white, and you get some orange Nike logos. Additionally, you also get this Nike Airship owner's manual, which I thought was pretty interesting. A lot of info in there about all of the different features of the shoe. A pretty nice collector's item. And then getting into the shoes, now aesthetically, it does look a lot like a pair of Jordan 1s, but there are of course quite a few differences. One of the biggest differences on the Airship is this extra flap that you have on the first 3 lace holes. Now you can see the laces on the first 3 holes actually go through this extra leather strap. They're calling these stabilizer straps, and they're intended to add a bit of lateral support. Another major difference is the toe box. So comparing the toe box on, for example, a pair of Jordan 1s and the Airships. Airship toe box to me reminds me a lot more of an Air Force One type of toe box. Additionally, I count that there are 8 different lace holes here on the Airships, whereas a pair of Jordan 1s has 9. I do really like the swoosh on the Airships. It has more of that retro shape, kind of like that 85 style of Jordan 1 shape. What's really different, however, with the Airship and the Jordan 1 is the placement of the ankle strap. It is a bit lower on the Jordan 1, whereas here the leather strap is right at the top of the shoe. And of course, this time there is no Wings logo. And on the heel, look at that Nike Air logo. That is a very retro looking logo. And you also get this extra leather heel at the back. Now that is something you don't see on Jordan 1s. The insole on these two feature a very simple Jumpman logo. And you can also see the size of the shoe, which is printed inside the ankle collar. The pair came with two different sets of laces, a white pair if you just want more of that clean look, and also you get that team orange pair. I think I kind of prefer the team orange on these. And if you of course want to go for more of that vintage vibe, you can cop these beige laces from my shop, Elevate Laces. I will leave a link to that in the description. You can pretty much never go wrong with a pair of beige laces. So if you wanted a little bit something extra, go ahead and cop these. A real positive about this shoe is the leather quality. You get some very nice soft leather on this pair. In fact, I would say maybe besides the Georgetown ones, the leather on these is probably better than any other Jordan 1 that's released this year, which is surprising considering that the retail price on these was only $150. So a cheaper shoe, yet somehow the leather quality is much better. Definitely a pleasant surprise. You can tell that these are gonna age very nicely with more use. Sizing on these, luckily they do fit exactly the same as a pair of Jordan 1s. I got these in my true size 11. As I mentioned, the leather on these is nice and soft, so right out the box they feel already nice and worn in. So my recommendation is go with your true size, go with your normal Jordan 1 size. And just for reference sake, I wear the same size in these as I do with Nike Dunks or Nike Air Max sneakers, and it's a half size up from my Air Force 1 size. I actually really like the way these look on feet. They have a really retro look to them, and it's just a very clean silhouette. Looks great with a pair of jeans. Yeah, I'm definitely pretty happy with these. Looking at resale prices right now, so at this current moment of me making this video, the prices really aren't that much above retail. We're talking like 30 to 40 bucks above retail in most sizes, and it's very difficult to say how these prices are gonna move long term because we have such little information about the release details. We also don't know how many more colorways might release in the future. It's really up in the air. I would say if you are someone that really wanted a pair of Air ships, but those other colorways that are released so far, they're pretty much just completely out of your range at this point. And I don't think there's any point waiting to see these prices go up or down because they're already so low right now. Overall, the Nike Air Ship in this team orange colorway, are these a cop or a drop? This is the first time I reviewed one of these, and I will say these do have quite a lot going for it. You first of all get the cheaper retail than a pair of Jordan 1s. You also on this pair get some very nice leather. And also, you know what, over the last couple of years, there's been a new colorway of the Jordan 1 releasing pretty much every weekend, it feels like. So this shoe right here is kind of cool because it does stand out a little bit, and it has quite a lot of history behind it. It's a real if you know, you know type of shoe. And most importantly, they're clean and look great on feet. So I actually am gonna say these right here, these are a cop. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Let me know what you guys think about the Nike Air Ship. Will you be copying yourself a colorway? And thank you so much for supporting the channel and for watching this video. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.